Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, whatever time of day you've chosen to join us. Thank you. I'm your host, Adam Gerard. This is A Word with Adam, and joining me this week is a very special treat for me, as I'm a massive fan of this man, and I'm very humbled to call him my friend. He is the new AWA champion, which we'll get into later on. Please welcome the Maniac, Wayne Mattei. Wayne, thank you for coming.
Thanks for having me.
How are you today?
I'm sore.
Yeah, I bet. You went through a grueling match last night.
Yes, very sore. Rocky gave me some good shots last night, so pay for it today. At 42 years of age, you would think that would be normal. So, yeah.
Well, that's fair. That's fair. You're not showing it too badly. You didn't walk in here with a limp or anything, so.
Well, no, I left that at the door. I had to try and hide that when I walked in. That and hair dye normally covers everything very well, so it's all good.
All right, so before we get into the title win, well, obviously we have to touch on that. Is he with us?
It is. It looks pretty good too.
Yeah, it's not a bad one. Not a bad one, that one. How'd you get into wrestling? What was it that hooked you when were you a kid, or when was it that you got the bug?
Yeah, no, it was my dad's fault. I knew absolutely nothing about wrestling as a kid up till about 5. I don't know if most kids do before then or not. They might nowadays. They might, but I didn't. And I was at home one day. I remember I can even depict the setup of the lounge room. And my dad says, "Come in here and sit down." I think it was on a Sunday afternoon or something like that. And he goes, "Sit down and watch this." And he turns it on. And I looked at the TV, and all of a sudden it's WrestleMania 1, the first one. And it come up on the screen, and I'm sitting there and I'm looking at it. I looked at him. I said, "What is this?" And he goes, "Just wait, because they're doing all the promo stuff." And of course, up comes Hulk Hogan and Mr. T, and that clicked to me. I was a big A-Team fan, and they did a lot of stuff together on the A-Team. Plus, I liked Mr. T, and so then I just sat there and I started watching it. And my eyes went from just the casual look to bigger. I'm like, "Oh my God, what is this?" And after the, I don't know, it might have been 3 hours. I think it was. It ran for. I was obsessed with it, and I said to Dad, "This is incredible." And he just laughed because he'd always watched it prior to it. And then I was just on him all the time. When's the next one on? When's the next one on? When's the next one on? So that's how it kind of started, was my dad showed me WrestleMania 1.
And who was the standout for you?
Oh, Hulk Hogan and Mr. T for me, for sure. They were my favourite, especially at that age as well.
Mm-hmm. I think everybody loved Mr. T at that age.
Absolutely. And I mean, he was in the best condition of his entire life. Well, yeah, no, it probably was the best condition of his entire life, because he was doing Rocky 3 at the same time as well. Yep. So he was in Clubber Lane condition for WrestleMania.
I remember Hogan talks about in his autobiography everywhere he went, he was just cranking one of those.
Yeah, the old school flexi bars. Yeah,
constantly.
Yeah. Or you'd have the hand grips, and you'd be doing the hand grips as well. So, no, that was probably the start of it for me. On my first experience with wrestling was Dad showing me WrestleMania 1. So. After that, it was hooked, because there were these massive built guys that were in shape that were just beating the absolute piss out of each other in the ring, and you'd have a bad guy would do it. The old, remember the foreign object that would come out of the tights out of nowhere and quick stab to the throat or whatever, and then it goes back in the tights, and the referee was absolutely oblivious, and you're going, "How did you not see that?"
The referees are stupid in wrestling. It's a real problem.
That's what do they call the referee? The tree. That's all it is. They need to stand there and be the tree. That's all. Mm-hmm. So all of that encompassing together was just amazing for me. So it was great.
And did you know right away? Were you like, "Yeah, this is for me"? Or I know. Let's get into it. You grew up as a skinny kid.
Skinny. Well,
did you look at it then and go, "That's for me," or did you kind of go like I did as a skinny kid? You're like, "God damn, I wish I was like 100 kilos heavier, because that would be for me."
Yeah, at 5, skinny little kid, yeah, absolutely. And I thought, this is way cool, and then got into it more and more. But as I got a little bit older through school, then I became the short little fat kid. And then being the short little fat kid that liked professional wrestling was almost taboo at school. You're like, "What? You like that fake shit?" And all this sort of stuff. And then, of course, you're at home and you got your dolls and you're dropping elbows on them and all that sort of stuff, trying to do the moves, thinking, "I can do this."
Broke a lampshade doing Randy Savage.
Yeah, there you go. I think I broke the bed slats once. Doing a pole driver on my toys, I reckon. But yeah, then when you go to school, you try to find somebody, some common ground with somebody to talk about it, and no one at my school was wrestling fans at all. So hence where you'd get beat up for it, or you get teased for it, or we used to have to make a cover for our diary, our school diary, and you could draw whatever you wanted on it and pop it in, because you'd have to hand your diary up at the end of the day or the end of the week, whatever it was. Of course, mine's red and yellow, Hulk Hogan, Mr. T, this, that, and the other on it, and so on. So as soon as the kids seen that, every time you'd go around to hand everyone's diary up, mine would be like, there you go, there's your piece of crap. And, okay, whatever. So, the idea to be put into my head to become one would be more of the case of, I want to be as big as them so I can handle myself. So, back then, I don't know if it was technically I wanted to be a wrestler, but I wanted to be exactly like them. A big guy that could handle himself and take no shit from no one, because I was entitled.
Taking shit from people,
I was getting shit from everyone, So, yeah, and then I think what had happened is I got a little bit older. It still continued in school, that sort of abuse towards anyone that liked wrestling and all that. But then the WWF came to town in Adelaide, and we went to Apollo Stadium, and they had the show there, and it was sponsored by Toyota. Excuse me, back when they used to do the Toyota adverts for rock and roll wrestling, and Paul Roma and SD Jones and all of those guys. And so this is a funny story. I actually spoke to you and mentioned to you that I should tell you about this, and I'd elaborate more on it. My mum used to work in John Martin's in the city.
God, there's a name people haven't heard in a long time.
John Martin's, John Martin's. And it's when they used to have the ladies that would operate the lifts for you.
Yes, I remember.
Second floor, blah, blah, blah. Here you go, open the door and open the doors for you. Mum did that for years. And we knew that the WWF was coming to town, and you could get the tickets from John Martin's in the ticket place in there at once. Tickets, So she said, yes, darling, I'll get you tickets or whatever.
I can picture your mum.
Yeah, well, Mum. Yeah. So, Mum's got the tickets, and she said, I've got your second row. Now I just lost my mind. I'm like, second row, this is fantastic. It was just going to be me and Dad. And then it come to, I think it was maybe the day before the show, or a couple of days before the show, because they'd obviously come to town early, as they do. And all of a sudden, Mum comes home one day from work, and she says to me, she goes, what's that wrestler that you like? Can you be a little bit more specific on that? And she goes, the big one. I'm like, yeah, okay, keep going. It's going to take forever. She goes, no, the hairy one with the green tongue. I went, George the Animal Steel. She goes, can he actually speak? And I said, no, he's an animal. He's got a green tongue. He's crazy. No, why? She goes, I swear I had him in the lift today. I'm like, what?
Like your mum's breaking kayfabe for you.
She goes, I swear he was in the lift. This bald man, huge man, very hairy, big gold chains and all this, with this beautiful woman on his arm next to him. And I said, what'd you say? And she goes, I turned to him and I said, excuse me? And he goes, yes. And this is the funny part. She goes, I'm so sorry to ask you, but you're not the animal, are you? And he's turned around and going, yeah, I am. She's like, oh my God, my son's going to the show tonight and he can't wait, blah, 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 blah. And I said to her, I cut her off. I said, tell me you got an autograph. Didn't you got him to sign something like that? And she goes, no, I didn't have a pen or a bit of paper in my pocket. I'm like, oh. I was devastated. I thought, no one's going to believe me when I go to school to say that my mum had George the Animal Steel in the lift, I think. Great story for me, it's fantastic, but I'm just going to get beat up even more when I go to school because they're going to say you're full of shit. Yeah. So, we go to the show that night. I can remember everything about it. We line up out the front. They have these big marquees set up with all the T-shirts and the merch and so on. So, one of my favourites was Corporal Kirshner, who was coming on the tour. So, I had camo pants, I had a dark blue jumper on, just a plain one. And Dad bought me a WrestleMania 2 T-shirt. I think it was. That was on sale there. So WrestleMania 2 T-shirt over the top of the jumper. Got my pants on and everything, and I'm all set. And with the second run, we got a great view of everything. The runway's here, and we're just here. Oh. So perfect position.
Yeah. High five territory right there.
Yeah, absolutely. So the show starts, and getting into it, I'm just losing my mind, thinking this is fantastic. Everything's going on. They had the ladies come through. SD Jones was on there. Corporal Kirshner Volkov was on the show. And then Cowboy Bob Orton comes out for his match, and he's going against George Animal Steel. So I'm revved for this one because I used to love George Animal Steel.
Everybody did. It was awesome.
Yeah, exactly. So the match starts, everything's as it would be with George, and he's doing his big you and not talking to anyone and this thing, remember that? He did that. And then halfway through the match, George just snaps and loses it. Next minute, he gets out the ring and he starts going around ringside and he's just grabbing anything he can and he's throwing it into the ring. And what they used for barricades at that time were the old Y-frame stands with a big plank of wood with the yellow and black stripes painted on it.
Nice.
That's all they had that separated us from them. So George has seen that and just starts grabbing them and throwing them in the ring. Orton's in the ring going, what's going on here? I don't even know if they actually had that planned or whatnot. But he's coming, he's taking the barriers away from the front of us, throwing that in the ring. And then the seats were the old orange plastic ones that were about 5 in a row connected together. George has just grabbed the front row one. Everyone's just moved and he's flicked that into the ring. And I'm there going, what's going on here? He went around and trashed a bit more of the thing. And of course, then there was a disqualification. He's got in the ring and he's walking around doing his thing like this. And you can see him looking at the turnbuckles as he's going to do. And then I'm sitting there and I'm losing my mind. All of a sudden, he's just looked at me. He's gone, you. And I've gone, oh. And Dad's gone,
Get up there.
pointing at you. And I'm like, and he goes, come here. And I don't know what to do. And one of the guys that was part of the WWE crews grabbed me and he's popped me in the ring. I'm like, oh my God, what am I doing in here? And he's taken me over the turnbuckle. And of course, not speaking or anything as he doesn't do. He's just basically done the thing of tear the turnbuckle. And I'm like, what? You want me to what? And he's like, and the crowd's going nuts and that. And next minute, so I've done it and flicked all the stuff everywhere. And the crowd's loved it. He's gone off and then he's gone and done one in the corner and he's flicking the stuff at everyone and all that. And I've hopped back out and sat down next to Dad and we've watched the rest of the show. And I was on cloud nine for the whole night. It was amazing. So the next day at school, of course, friends were at the show. No one would admit to that they were going because, you know, wrestling.
Yeah.
No. Next day at school, that was the king of oh my God, you're in the ring. You're in the ring with George Animal Steel. I'm like, yeah. But kind of at that stage, getting in the ring and being in the squared circle with all those people around you, I was like, oh, this is awesome. Mm-hmm. Maybe then it was when I kind of clicked and thought this would be really cool if I could do that. But then, you know, from there through until, you know, a little bit older, about 14, 15, still then it was here, but it wasn't right in the front part of my brain to go, that's what I want to do. So, but it was certainly a point of where it kind of was ready for me to think, yeah, that's what I want to do.
Now, just touching on school for a bit, I know that you mentioned bullying, we don't have to go into specifics at the moment or anything, but I know that you survived it, which is obviously a challenging thing to do. What was it that I guess there are kids out there that look up to you. You can hear that in the stands. You go to any all the shows I've seen you on. Maniac channels are huge, and kids are just nuts for you. I mean, Adriana's cousins came backstage last night to meet you.
Yeah. Because
they were just like, I want to meet the Maniac.
Yeah. So
I guess those kids that look up to you, if they're getting bullied because they like wrestling or because they're short and fat or for whatever reason. What advice have you got as somebody who is on the other side of this, survived that, this is a fucking champion? What is your advice to them?
Look, the only advice I can give is what I did. You have to try and weather the storm. You know, it's not going to last forever. Kids can be evil and horrible at certain points of their age and be nasty and say stuff just for no reason whatsoever. You have to try and remember they're just kids. You know, and I mean, I suffered physical violence as bullying in school. I had my nose busted across my face by an uppercut from a kid that told me that I was sitting in the wrong seat in biology because I was sitting next to the girl that he liked, but it was my position in the biology lab the whole time. So, you know, my nose was completely splattered across my face. I had to have surgery, had to have it rebroken, wore a plaster across my face for a couple of months, I think it was. So it's hard, and it's hard to cope with stuff like that, especially at a young age, but it doesn't last forever. I mean, I was, like I said, the short little fat kid in school, but come 15, I think, all of a sudden I started shooting up.
Yeah.
I got skinny and I got tall. And then, of course, I wasn't the focal point of bullying then because there's the tall kid, but then you've got another new fat little short kid, poor kid. There's done nothing wrong, but here's the direction.
But the baggage doesn't just magically leave you either, just because they stop. Just because one day they go, okay, well, stop giving you shit. It doesn't. You don't just go, well, There's a weight off my shoulder. Yeah,
No.
it still sits there and nags at you.
Exactly. It still happens. I mean, they were still like, oh, that's Wayne Meadows, the kid that likes wrestling, you know.
Yeah.
But it was, they'd finger point and say stuff, but they weren't then progressing with the physical stuff because they think, oh, hold on, he's
bigger,
taller,
yeah.
So it is something hard that you have to deal with, and especially from the standpoint of being a child, they don't understand it.
Mm-hmm.
Why they're so mean? Why me? And it's brutal.
Yeah.
It's so brutal. I spent many times when I was crying in my room because I just didn't know. Kids would take my bike on the way home from school. Can I have a ride of your BMX? And I'd be, yeah, all right, no worries. I was an only child. I didn't have brothers or sisters, so I'd like to have friends. So someone would say that to me. I'd be like, yeah, you can have a shot. I don't mind. They'd ride my bike that fast and then see the Stovey pole on the corner of the street. They'd ride straight for it, jump off and let the bike smash straight into the Stovey pole and buckle my wheel and all that sort of stuff, and then just take off laughing. So then I have to pick my bike up and walk my bike all the way home after some little shit had done that to my bike for no reason.
Yeah.
They just thought it'd be funny, so it's tough.
Yeah.
And being an only child, having no brothers or sisters to look out for you, protect you, or anything like that, it was just me, and that was it. So it's hard. You find your own little solace and your own little happy place. Mine used to be on a Saturday afternoon. In the morning, you'd be on the phone trying to ring around, hey, what are you doing today? You want to hang out or whatnot? And I had two really good mates, Michael Elliott and Zoran Howard, and they were the three of us we used to hang out. But if neither of those two were available, my solace was Channel 7, 12 o'clock midday movie on a Saturday, meat pie with sauce, chocolate donut, can of Coke, and Jerry Lewis movie.
Nice.
That was it for me. So that was my happy place. So that used to be good. So I had somewhere to go and just escape. And then, because then also too, I was a little bit older too, but then it wasn't wrestling itself. That's what it was for me back then. And then it transferred a little bit further on. Then all of a sudden it became wrestling. I want to watch it. And then the full escapism was there. You take myself out and be there. And that's where it was. So. But yeah, it's tough. You have to try and.
Did you start working out as a result of that, or was it just something you one day just decided, I want to see what happens when I lift weights?
Yeah, I started martial arts first because I wanted to learn how to protect myself because I didn't know how. So I took up karate, trained for a few years with that. Did quite well with it. Did a full contact tournament, but they put me up against somebody that was way senior to where I was.
Of course.
And being full contact, so there's no pads or nothing.
Yeah, they kick the shit out of you.
Yeah, I had ribs broken and everything.
Jesus.
And got put in the hospital. My mum was furious with my dad. She was going to kill him. Because at first she threatened him. She goes, if he goes in the contest and something happens to him, it's your fault. Dad's like, yeah, we're fine, don't worry about it. Next minute he rings up mum going, we're in the hospital and he's got a couple of busted ribs. What? So, but I said to mum and dad that night when we were in the hospital, I said, this is the last time I'm ever going to get hurt. I said, I don't care who it is. And they're like, yeah, no, that's good. Yeah, but it's good mindset to be in, but if you can do it, you can do it. And from that standpoint, I figured, well, I can handle myself, but physically my body is not able to withstand that sort of onslaught if somebody's going to attack you. So I was only, I think, 70 kilos and about 6 foot. So
Jeez.
Then I started and went to the gym and I thought, well, if I can build myself up like the wrestlers, look the way that, even just the physical aspect of the aesthetics of looking at someone, you'd look at them and go, yeah, I don't know if I'll have a shot at him or not. I might just go for that one. It's a little bit smaller. So
easier target.
Yeah, so that's the way I looked at it. And that's when I started lifting the weights and it just exploded. It was good. I had focus. I was there every single day, religiously. I would, 7 days a week I'd go there. I probably trained too much. But it was the only thing I enjoyed because it was something I could do on my own. I didn't need anyone to help me do it. I could just go straight in there, do what I wanted, focus on it, feel good about myself afterwards because you'd either be pumped up or you'd know you'd done something wrong, good, or you could see you getting stronger and just leave and go home.
So but back then, did you get technique from magazines or anything, or did you just work it out on your own?
Well, everyone is taking a technique from Arnie, always. You watch Pumping Iron, you read his encyclopedia book, you just watch his movies. Back then my main set for me was Arnold Schwarzenegger, Van Damme, and Stallone. So my room was covered in posters for them, and all the martial arts covers from magazines with Van Damme were everywhere and all that. And they were all big, muscly guys. So for me, it was like beautiful. Plus, you put the wrestlers in there as well that are just crazy.
Oh yeah.
So the motivation there was really good. But it was just that in itself. My little escapism from Jerry Lewis with the meat pie went from that to the gym.
Mm-hmm.
So I knew that I could go from that to there and be happy there and do what I want. And then I'd met people in the gym that were older than me, and they'd see how much I was interested in it, and that they would take me and say, come train with me today, let me show you something. And so you'd start to do it that way, and you'd learn a bit more and more and more. And so I did that for 2 years straight, and then someone said, why don't you enter a contest, because you look awesome for your age. And so I did, and the first contest I did, Mr. South Australia, I won. So
Nice. That's going to make you feel good.
it made me feel really good. At my age, that size too, everyone was like, what the hell are you eating?
Yeah.
Are you standing in manure or what are you doing? So, it was a good confidence boost as well, you know. It made me feel good. And then in turn, like I said, then I had the physique where people would look and go,
Yeah, no.
I'm just going to go.
I actually noticed that, I guess it comes from where you went once you got bigger into your bodyguarding and stuff, but the other night we were filming a behind the scenes thing with you, and a drunk guy decided that he would come up and just be a smart ass pretty much. And you're a big guy already, like naturally you're a big guy, and I swear you expanded to twice your size. I've never, like Bruce Lee style, like it was amazing. And I looked at that and I was like, yeah, it was the first, like, I'm going to crack the kayfabe a little bit here. You are legitimately one of the nicest people I've ever met. And so, yeah, sorry.
Cut that bit out.
But when I saw that was like when I saw that was the first time I was really like, yep, no, that I'm not. I am never messing with Wayne in my life. No.
There's a switch. There's a switch that gets turned on, whether it's for work or wrestling or whatnot, or even protection for myself or for my partner or my kids. You know, we no one will hurt any of those people, especially myself or my beautiful wife to be, or my two beautiful boys that we have. It just doesn't happen. So it's a switch straight away, especially for work as well too. Like I know, depending on who it is that I'm working with or someone, like you get to meet them, you say hi and you have a chat and all that sort of stuff, but as soon as you step out into the public forum with them like that, it's gone.
Oh, of course, yeah.
It's gone. And that's what a lot of people say. They say the funniest thing is as soon as we see you, we see your size, we see how big you are, but then we see the look on your face, and it's that "don't fuck with me" look, and everyone just goes, "Yeah,
yeah, exactly, yeah."
How you doing? That's about it.
What can I do for you, sir?
Yeah. So I mean, a lot of the times I've never had to become physical with my bodyguarding work, or even verbal with my bodyguard work. I can just give someone this look, and apparently they go, "Look like you were just about to stab me in the heart." Well, just get out the way.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
That's all I want. I don't mind if you depict that that's the look that I gave you and what I was thinking, even though I probably wasn't. I was probably thinking, I'm really hungry right now. Can you move? If they want to think that, that's fine. Yeah.
So how did you get you? So you bodybuilding, and then I know you went. You said you went overseas. You went to the USA and then came back and entered bodybuilding too.
Yep.
Won again. Which is unheard of.
6 months. Within 6 months.
I can't. My brain can't.
It got bigger, which was even better.
So what do you do from there? So you're at that point. You feel it finally. I'm willing to bet you've got pride in yourself. You're feeling really good. You're literally the first time, a 2-time champion. The first time it's ever been done. Where do you go from there? What do you like? Is that the point? Do you decide wrestling there, or is it bodyguarding from there, or where do you go from there?
No, you go to the hospital.
Okay.
You tear your pectoral muscle off your thigh and joint in your shoulder, and you end up in hospital.
Yeah, that'll do it.
That'll do it. Yeah, I was prepping for my next bodybuilding contest because I wanted to go again, and I thought, well, I've done this one in 6 months, so I'm going to give it another shot.
Because there's a lot of people don't realise the amount of prep work that actually they think it's just just lift weights like normal, but
it's far from that. My problem was I think that I was superhuman then, and I thought I can go again in another 6 months, put some size on. Because you go off season where you can eat what you want, you hold some fluid, you hold some fat, your body gets healthy again. Because when you're competing, when you're in condition to be on stage, you're not healthy. You're depleted of water, you're depleted of sodium, fats, everything. Your body is screaming for all that. You look like you're Superman, but your body inside is going, I'm dying. You need to give me the sustenance that I need. And unfortunately, what had happened was I was prepping for the contest. I was in the gym. I was doing incline bench press on the Smith machine. I had 4 or 5 20-kilo plates on either side. And I was banging it out, did the first rep all right. And then my second set, I thought, I'm getting tired. So I grabbed 2 lads that were in the gym and said, can you spot me on either side? The Smith machine's a solid machine that moves all in one.
Yeah.
So all I wanted was the guys on each side just to make sure it kept moving if I got stuck. And that was it. So I did 3 or 4, and then I could feel myself getting tired, and I kind of got stuck. the guy on this side was all over it. He was there ready, helping to lift up as we're going. The guy on this side here was talking to someone in the gym about something or other. And I could hear him talking. I'm kind of looking, going, what are you doing? What are you doing? And like, I could feel it was getting heavy and heavy. And I thought, I've got to get it up. Otherwise I'm going to get stuck.
No.
So I've gone bang. And as I've pushed it up, this has just snapped. Like when you get a big twig from a tree and you snap it over your knee, that was the sound it made. It's bang, straight away it was gone.
Oh.
And
you feel it immediately?
I felt sick straight away. I was something's wrong. And I got up and I was dizzy, and you know when you sort of go into a bit of shock and you think I'm going to pass out. They sat me down and we got ice. I didn't know if I tore my bicep or I torn my chest. I had no idea what I did. All I knew I did something wrong and it was bad. And then I went home and was icing it, doing everything that I could just to wait because it started to swell. And you've seen the photos from 2 days, the difference in the bruising from a small bit just here to my entire inside of my arm and bicep covered in blood under the skin.
Yeah.
And that's when we went to the doctors and they checked it and said, yeah, you've torn your pec right off.
Oh.
So I had to be scheduled to have surgery to have it, attempt to have it reattached because they're hard to put back in. So they did that and put wires and everything in there and did the best that they could.
Yep.
Had the surgery and then for, I think it was 8 months or something, I was in a sling just like this. I couldn't move. I couldn't, I wasn't able to put my arm that way or this way or nothing. It literally had to stay there so that your chest was that tight with your shoulder that it could heal. So,
and after being that active and that physical, that's got to...
it was brutal. It just messed with your head. I couldn't train. I'd try to go to the gym and just do legs. And you do that for a couple of times. You think, yeah, I feel all right. That's good. But then you think, I want to do something up here. And I didn't want the temptation of taking the arm out of the sling and doing something and then injure it again.
Yeah,
so,
of course. Undo all the healing you had done.
Absolutely. So there was a long period of time where I just could do nothing and felt like absolute crap and felt like I looked horrible. Everyone used to say, you still look alright, it's all good and all that, but it's a mental thing. Bodybuilding is a mental thing. It's more mental than it is physical because some of the guys turn around and they come out and they look like crap and so on, but they're 5 times bigger than the normal bloke that walks down the street and you go, what is wrong with you? But it's in their head, and it happens to all of us. So you turn around and you think, I just look like shit. But when you have the injury where you can't train anymore, it is 1,000 times worse because then you're not doing anything active to try and improve it. So, suffered that injury, went through the rehab, got better, got back into the gym again. Couldn't do nearly anywhere as much as what I used to do on my chest and so on, and had quite somewhat of a deviation in the chest there where the tear was and all that. So I knew then that the bodybuilding career was over because it's such a symmetrical and aesthetic style contest. You have an injury like that or a defect, that's the perfect word, you'll be judged on that. And if you've got a guy that's next to you that's in perfect symmetry and shape with no tears, no nothing, of course the judges are going to go this way then that way.
Yeah.
So, and at that time too, I was on the judging panel for the Bodybuilding Federation, so I knew what they looked for and I knew that for me, if that was me and I had those 2 people up in front of me, I know which way I'd go. And it was pretty much the same as what most of the judges would be thinking. So I was like, oh, that's it. But I didn't stop training. I still wanted to train. I still wanted to see what I could do, see how big I could get and all that sort of stuff. So I kept doing it. But it only benefited my security and bodyguarding work from there. That's all it was. It certainly wasn't bodybuilding anymore. But it certainly helps with the bodyguarding and security work to have that size and so on like that. So I kept doing it for that main reason in itself, really, just to keep my size and keep the stature that I was. I didn't want to go back to where I started.
No, of course not.
Hell no.
So how did you get into bodyguarding then? So you recover from the injury, and as you say, so that's the point where you go, okay, I'm retired from professional bodybuilding.
Yep.
Do you then just go, all right, well, get into security or something where you can use your size to your advantage, or did somebody come up to you and say, you're a big fucker, come guard this door?
I was already in security. I started security when I was 18.
Oh, cool, okay. Yeah.
The day I turned 18, I had not been out to a nightclub in my life underage. I wasn't interested in doing that. But the day I turned 18, to get your security license back then, you'd have to go into the city, fill out all this paperwork, heap of questions and all that, tick all the conditions that you wanted. So I ticked everything. And even installation of alarm systems. I was no Sparky, but I'll tick it. Okay. I might get it, you don't know. I come back and give me my license. I've got absolutely everything on the back, which included bodyguard. Oh, all right. Okay. So one of the guys in the gym that I trained with, he was in security and did bouncing work and all that. And so the day I turned 18 and I got my licence, he said, right, come with me.
Mm-hmm.
So he took me in, and my birthday present was a night's work of bouncing in a nightclub. And I'm like, what the hell is this place? This is crazy. You know, there's alcohol, there's people dancing around, there's music. And I'm like, oh, what is this magical place?
What is this heaven?
This is amazing. Funny enough, you should say heaven. That's where I was working. So, yeah, I started doing that. And then I did all right with the bouncing and so on. And then I managed to purchase my own company.
Nice.
And build that up from a very, very small business into this massive privately owned security firm. But within that time of doing that, I was in the office one day and we got a phone call from a guy I didn't know him from Bar of Soap that had a huge company in Sydney. They were bringing some celebrities, as he put it, to town, and they needed some assistance at the airport with transfers from the gate to the bus and then at the hotel, and then again vice versa backwards when they leave. Mm-hmm. He said, can you help? I said, yeah, I probably can. I said, yeah, it depends on my staff and so on. I said, what's the gig? He goes, oh, it's the World Wrestling Entertainment. I'm like, yeah, we can do that. Simple. He had no idea that I was a fan or anything like that. So we did the job, super happy with it. Mm-hmm. He liked my look and size and everything like that. And he said, I might have a bit of work I can spin off your way if you're interested. And I said, yeah, okay. And that's how it happened. Mm-hmm. He was Michael Jackson's ex-bodyguard. He had done every man and his dog you could think of. So he knew his stuff. So he basically took me under his wing, and trained me up and taught me how to do everything, taught what to look for. It was better than doing, the average TAFE course for bodyguarding or certificate 4 or whatever it was. I'm learning from a guy that's done it for 20 plus years.
It's done for an A-lister as well.
Many A-listers, so... he taught me how to do that there, and then I'd go on jobs with him, we'd do stuff together and all that, and then after a while he was like, you're right to go on your own now. So then he'd start sending me the work, and David Beckham, I did Zara Phillips, who's the Queen's granddaughter, so I did Royalty, Elle McPherson, every man and his dog, every band you could think of, everyone. So it kind of started from there. He was the main one that did it for me. So.
And so when was it then that you got into a wrestling ring?
Well, I'd been doing the bouncing work, I'd been doing the bodyguard work, I'd had my own security company. Yep. Same thing again with the security company. We had a promoter come into our office. Wow. And say to us, "You're going to put on a security event here in wrestling event here in Adelaide. We need some security. Can you guys provide?" So, yeah, wrestling, yeah, of course, absolutely. How many guys, what night, blah, blah, blah. Did all that. Of course, me being me, I'm going, I'm going to work this job as well. I want to see what this is all about. So we've got there, the ring's all set up, and I'm like, oh yeah, this is cool. It's very low budget compared to what you see on TV, but it still could be pretty cool. So we put our guys in their spots. Of course, me being the boss and the owner, I've taken the runway next door to the stage where I can see the ring perfectly. And the guys are going to come past me. I said, I'm taking prime position. And then doors open, all the people start coming in. He'd get a decent crowd, this bloke. He'd do really well. Back then, it was when the real little phones they had that had the coloured screen, and it was very basic, but you could still take a picture with. It was back then, and these kids had come up to me, and I'm just standing there with my arms folded. No tattoos, nothing to make me sort of stand out apart from, I was a big dude. And that was about it. And they're like, oh, what do you do in the show? I do nothing in the show. Security. Can you see that? Whatever, that's what they're saying. No, kids are taking pictures and doing all this stuff. And I'm like, can you go away? I'll get in the shit if you keep doing this. So, long story short, show starts, show gets done. They're all finished, and when the people are all leaving and that, there's... Why didn't you get in and help that dude when he was... I said, because it's not what I do. I said, I'm here to protect you guys from something out here, not them from them. They're like, bullshit. I'm serious. And then after the show, the promoter comes out to me. How'd you go? You happy with everything? Because he's a client, so I want to make sure he's happy. Because I want him to pay his invoice. Basically, I want your money. I've watched the show for free, that's great, but I want you to pay. And he said, yeah. Look, security-wise, it was great. He said, we had one distraction, one issue in the show, and I said, okay. I said, well, what's that? And I'll change it. He goes, you. It's me? I said, yeah. I said, I just stood there. It was out the way. I just, I wanted to, no. it's you. It's your presence. It's you. He said, you're a big dude. He said, you've got the look, and he said, everyone's looking at you, waiting for you to do something while my guys are in the ring, busting their ass doing the show. So, okay. I said, well, I can fix it. I said, I won't do the next show. I said, I'll send my guys in and we'll take care of it. And he said, no. He said, well, there's another option. I said, all right, what's that? He said, we could put you in there. My eyes are gone, what? What do you mean? He said, no, we can do some training, see how you go. If you know, you work out with the training and you understand it and you pick it up pretty quickly, we'll see what we can do. So started training, and I did. I managed to, for a big guy, I could break full, I could roll, I could flip and land on my back properly and all that sort of stuff relatively quickly, which I'd never been trained before, but I'd watched wrestling ever since I was a kid. So I knew how to hook the suplex in and hit one without hurting somebody else, but no one had ever shown me how to do it. You know, the teddy bears were my victim in my room, you know, pole driver, suplex, everything like that. So it was self-taught from the TV, but of course never did it because it's dangerous.
Yeah,
you
exactly.
don't
You don't do that shit
No.
to people.
But then to be able to get into an environment where you can do it and be shown how to do it properly and learn how to protect
other guys
them,
who know how to do
and
it.
they know how to do it, so they're going to protect you at the same time.
Yep.
It was perfect. I can't remember how long it was I trained for, but it wasn't long. And they had involved a Channel 10 news reporter, sports reporter by the name of Mark Aston,
He
into
loves
the
to get
shows.
involved in the wrestling as well. He loves
Oh, he's a massive mark for it. He loves it. Mark Aston. But he was right into it and he loved it. So what they did is they did a storyline where Mark had come in and I don't know if he was the manager of someone or he was just a host or something, or just he'd come out as a presenter, but the bad guys would beat him up and jump on him and attack him and all this sort of stuff. And they entered him into he entered into a hardcore match or something or other as one of the members. And right at the end, he was getting the crap kicked out of him. And so this was the way that they led into it. I'm still standing there in my security shirt, doing my job and all this, but I'm standing there as nervous as hell because I know what's going to happen any second. And then all of a sudden, the cue was in the ring. So I've just torn the security shirt off and gone belting into the ring, and the crowd has just lost their friggin' minds. They're like, we need to see!
You worked as you bastard.
Yeah. And I've just wiped everyone out, and it was an incredible feeling just to have, I think he had 500 people at the show. Wow, he used to draw amazingly. I think he still does draw amazingly now. But he used to get a massive crowd, and they all, a lot of my friends would go there too because they were wrestling friends and stuff, but, maybe the cat got let out of the bag a little bit to a few people, so there was a few extras there. And yeah, that was kind of how it led into me getting in there. And then also too, having Mark Aston with me, so I had a Channel 10 news sports reporter with me and so he was boosting me as well.
So you get a rub right off the bat.
Yeah, I was getting the push straight away.
Exactly.
I was getting the Goldberg push, there you go. You're a big guy, you don't know much, but go ahead.
It's got let's be real, if you're a wrestling promoter, you are a wrestling promoter's dream. You have height, you have size, connect with the fans. That's the trifecta you want. It's the I mean, look, I look at it and go, you look at Hogan, right? And you look at Austin as well in his actual Stone Cold phase. They weren't going out there and doing moonsaults and putting on 60-minute Iron Man matches where they're flipping from hold to hold to hold. They were out there doing what they did, but it was believable because the fans connected. All it took was one punch and a leg drop.
Yep.
And fans were just
They'd lose their mind.
hugging each other and all sorts of shit.
Yeah.
If you've got that connection, I would be going, oh, let's get that guy in the ring. So of course you're going to strap a rocket to you. It only makes sense. You're not going to go, all right, well, he's the biggest guy on our roster, so I think he should probably job for a solid couple of years.
We'll bury him already.
Yeah, but that's ridiculous. So was it straight away the minute you got in there, you hear those fans, were you just like,
yeah, it was the confidence boost that I think I wanted when I was a kid.
Yep.
It came straight away. And at first, obviously, there was no Maniac moniker. It was Wayne, because they wanted him as Wayne. So I remember the first time I got there, it's Wayne. I'm thinking, yeah, it's pretty cool. It's my name, and these people are chanting and all that. But then I'm like, I don't want to be called Wayne. That's what wrestler is known as Wayne? Hey, I'm Wayne. Doesn't work. Doesn't work. So I tried to rack my brain for a few days, and I'm thinking, what can I come up with? And I'm trying to put names with names and put something in the middle of my name and all that. And I was talking to somebody, and they said, how did you go with the show? What did you do? And I said, I just tore my shirt off and ran into the ring like a friggin' maniac. And I've gone, that's it. Yeah. That's it. Whether I put it in the middle of my name or it's just the name by itself, it doesn't matter. It works both ways.
Exactly.
And it depicted completely how I come in straight away. And because I was no Bret Hart, you're not going to get wrist locks and an international and a drop kick and all that from me. I'm just going to go in there and beat the shit out of someone like a crazy guy, like a maniac. So
that's something I enjoy it from us. Like I'm a fan who enjoys psychology. Just the little things. I think it's because I come from an acting background. I like it when I can see performers. Like I hate it. For instance, you see guys, they hit a move and then they just kind of stand there.
Yeah.
And you're like, what are you doing? And like they stand there, like, are you gonna get up? Yeah.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
Was that alright?
But for instance, last night there was a moment you knock Rocky down, like one punch, you knock him down, and you walked around the ring, and you had this look on your face, like, what am I gonna do? And I'm sitting there, and I'm like, I believe that you literally are in your head, you're like, right, that punch worked. What do I now? And what do I hit him with? And
could have been legitimately too, like, fuck, what's the next move?
but it's little things like that I appreciate, because you are right. You look like a maniac in there.
Yeah.
Because it's just like, what is this? Like you said with George, where it's like, what is this crazy motherfucker going to do?
Yeah, and that's kind of weird, because I have the contact lenses in. I'll expand my eyes as wide as I can, as to say, I'm insane. What am I going to do? I don't know what to do. Like at one stage, I think I had Rocky down, and the cage door was right next to me. So I've looked at the cage, thinking, do I go out? And then I've looked at him, and then that's when I turned around and saw he was bleeding. So I'm like, door, I'm going to go out. No, he's bleeding.
Yes,
I'm going back.
Shark that smells blood.
I want more of that. So I try to do that, because I've done acting, I've done movies, and that's something I think that I can bring in the ring as well, as facials or knowing where the cameras are, and all that sort of stuff. Like there was a point last night where I'd opened Rocky up, and then I've sat him up, and I've just grabbed his head and I've just wrenched his head, but all the blood's running down his face, and I knew some of the cameras were, so I'm just losing my mind while I'm trying to tear his head off, thinking, in my head I'm thinking, this is going to be a great shot. This is going to be a perfect shot. It's that sort of thing that I think about with the character as well. As I got to make sure that I always look insane when I'm in there, and it's even if I'm laughing about something, when I think I'm laughing because it's sick. Yeah. I've just dropped you on your back where it seems like I've broken your back, and I think it's funny. Yeah. And everyone's like, there's something wrong with you. I'm like, there is.
That's what makes it work, though.
That's exactly what makes it work. So,
what's it like to bodyguard? Like, I'm guessing most people you bodyguard, small.
But yeah.
So what's it like to body? Like, I'm talking like, or at least if you're doing wrestlers as well, at least on par.
Yep.
But this guy, what's it like to bodyguard a guy where you're like, well, I'm never going to lose sight of this fucker no matter where he goes.
Yeah.
Like, is there a different mindset when you're bodyguarding a guy that big?
It's funny because like I walk out the lift first and everyone looks at me and they go, shit, look at him. All of a sudden he walks out behind me and they've gone, oh my God, what is that? It's gone from big to enormous. Yeah. And they just freak out, but
you need a Mr. first. That's where you really
get what the fuck? You need Mr. Big from PCW to walk out in front of us. So, never mind. So anyway, you'll never lose sight of him. He's always there. It's easy to look after. But the funny thing is he likes to have somebody that's half decent to protect him as well. I remember he was coming down the escalators in the Philippines airport. And we're just standing there waiting for him, and there's a couple of us guys that do the work for him for WWE, and he's coming down and he's got to the lift and he's seeing me, he's going, you! He goes, it's you! He goes, I was wondering who was going to look after me because Cell's over in Dubai doing something, which was one of the other bloke. Yep. He goes, I didn't know who I was going to have. He goes, I've got the Australian and it's all good, don't worry about it. I'm like, yeah, you're right. So he was more than happy with it, but it's, I mean, some of the WWE guys, they are bigger. Some are on par, some are smaller. But at the end of the day, it's just a job. I do what I do, so cool. I don't care how big or small they are. I've just got to make sure that no one gets near them. So that's the easiest.
Easier said than done?
Well, I haven't had an issue.
Yep.
I've been very lucky. The only issue I had was with David Beckham when a mad gay fan tried to get at him when we were trying to get him on the bus. And it was all of not trying to hurt him. It was just, oh, I've got to touch him, you know. I went, oh, David, and trying to stop somebody as wiry as this bloke was and obsessed was different. But we got it done, and he didn't get hurt. I didn't get hurt.
And Beckham got on the bus.
And Beckham was on the bus, yeah. So it was all right. That was different in itself.
This has been a Cabana production.